Let's make some potholder loop handles. These are great for your projects that you seam together potholders, or you could put them on a knitted project or crocheted. And we are working with these swivel snap hooks and several of these potholder loops. Today here on GoodKnit Kisses, I'll teach you how to make one or two. Welcome to GoodKnit Kisses. We're all about helping you stitch your love and love your stitches. I can't handle it. This is so easy. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. To make these handles, please click down in the video description in the link below for our free written blog and all the materials listed here. I am working with 50 to 60 loops depending upon the length of strap that you want. The smaller length is about 24 inches, the longer is about 26, and that includes from the end of my little swivel snap hook. So that's the second item that we need. So we need a bunch of loops, and then we need these swivel snap hooks or some kind of hardware that has a nice big round part on here that you're going to be putting your loops through, and then this little snap hook part which is going to attach to your bag or project. It could be a sewing project, it could be another potholder bag, which is what I'm going to be using this on soon, so stay tuned on that. So you need 4 of them to make 2 straps, or just one package with a pair to make 1 strap. All right, so grab your materials and let's begin. All right, now I'm going to add one more thing here. This is not necessary, but it's very handy. Haha, handle again. Sorry for the jokes. So I'm using this potholder loom for all of my potholders. If you don't have one on you, that's okay. I'm just using it to anchor and hold on to my project while I work on these handles. So I simply just slip this over and have it hold in place while I'm braiding my handle. It's not necessary, it's just convenient. So you can use the end of a table and tape it to the end, or have a nail or some other kind of loom or something to hold on to it, or a friend, that's fine. All right, so let's set that aside, and you're gonna go ahead and grab 5 to 6 of these loops, and we're gonna make 1 strand. So I'm gonna make another 6 loop one because that's what I'm doing. But if you're short on your project and you only have a few loops to work with, then see whatever you have that will divide up into, we're gonna make 5 strands, and you'll see that in a minute, so they can be all even. All right, so let's start with this. We've got 6 here. Okay, so go ahead and overlap 2 of these loops, and then pull, reach onto the inside and pull 1 loop through from the bottom and 1 loop through from the top, and then tighten it up. Okay, that's it. Now we're just going to fold and pinch this in half and go to the middle point or end point here. Okay, it's just kind of a center part, and we're going to keep it aligned because we want these to be nice and straight. We don't want there to be too much slack on one side. Okay, we're going to make these as long as possible. So pinch and hold, and now you've got a loop here. Grab another full loop and put part of it, pull it through from the bottom. Okay, like that. Put it through that loop in your hand, and then take your other part of that same loop and put it through the loop you just made, and then pull. There you go. There's a couple ways to do this. This is just one. All right, so now I've looped through 1. I'm going to fold it and go to the end and pinch and make a little loop. Now I'm going to grab a brand new loop, pull it through, leave it halfway, and then fold over this one, put it through, and pull. Okay, making this little knot tight. All right, now we're going to do it again. Repeat that. Pull it tight. All right, so I have 5 here, and I'm definitely going to make this one a 6 loop because I have enough to do my project. All right, so this is what I'm calling 1 strand. So I have 1 strand with 6 loops connected. I'm going to make 5 of these strands. So go ahead and make the 5 strands, and then we will start putting this onto our hardware. All right, so just get you started again. Let's do 6 loops. Okay. Take 2 brand new loops. Okay. Go into 1 from the top, into 1 from the bottom, pull opposite, and it tightens. Pinch and hold, make a loop, pull the brand new loop up through, push it through that other loop over here, and pull. Okay, just repeat until you have these 5 strands, and I'll see you in a moment. I have one left to do, and I remembered there was a faster way to do it. So if you don't like that other method, here's another one. And you may have already figured it out. Let's just go ahead and take the 2, and we'll pull through and start this first, where the 2 are together, the first 2 loops, and then pinch and hold. Okay, now I have this loop here. I can just simply place it on top of the other little loop, right? And then go from the back, and we're just going to pull through the other. Okay, I don't know if you saw that. It goes pretty fast. So I've got a loop in my hand, and my new loop, I'm going to put just one part on top of that loop, and then pull from the back, and then pull down or out. See that? Okay, one more. Put this on top, pull it through, and tighten it. Let's do it again. Placing on top, pull through the loop, and tighten. There we go. All right, we have our 5 strands ready to go, and we've got both of our hardware pieces. Just set one aside. We only need one for now. Gather all of the strands together, just putting all the loops through your thumb or another finger that's comfortable for you. So I'm just putting all of them together so it's like one loop, okay? And just kind of make sure they're not tangled, okay? So I'm just gonna make sure they're nice and straight, and then we're going to pinch these together and pick up our hardware, and we're going to push it through this larger hole in the hardware, okay? This nice little oval piece here. Just push all of those through together. All right, now you're just going to pull up and over the top of this hardware piece, all of them together, and then you can pull down. Now, it's not going to go over the what I call the shoulders of this, so you're just going to pull it down and around. Make it nice and tight. And it looks like the top of, you know, a men's tie or something like that. There you go. So that's the beginning of it. Now this could loosen, it's fine, but this is now attached. We're gonna have a similar method when we finish, and so you don't need any scissors. The only time you would need any scissors if you need to trim up some of these little tails that sometimes happen, these little ends, that kind of thing. All right, so grab your loom or something that you want it to be stable with and hook it around, and this is just gonna make it easier to braid. So now just spread out your tails or your strands and kind of keep them in the same order that they were stacked if you can. All right, so now you can see that I have maybe more on this side and where this part kind of overlaps the rest of them. So I'm gonna start my braid where I can bring this part to make it tighter at the top. Because this is looser, I'm going to put it towards the middle. So you see there's 5. There's always going to be one strand in the middle. So we're going to take an outward one, and we're going to bring it all the way to the very middle. Okay. And then we're going to go to the opposite side, take the most outward strand, okay, and the most outside, and put it in the middle. And you can tighten this a lot as you go or leave it loose. That's completely up to you. Mine was kind of medium, you know, sort of tight, sort of not. And that's how I got the number I did. Okay, or the length. And then I'm just going to go and take the outside one and bring it in to the middle, outside, bring it in, outside, in, and so on. Now you are going to get to the part where these have a this slip knot. And so you can work around your loops. It's stretchy with this cotton. It has elastic in the cotton. And so I find that I can just pull on some of the knots to kind of arrange them in the spot that I want them. All the knots are going to be kind of together. So this is sort of a rustic looking handle, and that's okay. Okay, you can see I'm kind of working around the knots, and they all gather in the same place. So this is a little bit bulky, but I just kind of tug on one to kind of get it up and around there so it's not too bulky. And that's it. You just keep going. I just keep moving my loom further and further back. All right, so continue braiding until you have about 1 or 2 inches left in your loops, and I'll show you what to do. If you want to just go down to the very last connection point, I'll stop at about here, my video, and I'll show you doing the rest of it so you can tell what to do here, okay? All right, pause your video and I'll see you soon. Okay, so I'm down to where I have 1 loop left. You can see the little slip knots here, and you can stretch out your handle like this and start measuring. And if you think that the 6 loops is too long, you could take these out and undo them, you know, maybe put some kind of clamp or something to keep these together and take them off if it's too long for you. Just remember, whenever we finish this up, we will be putting this little hardware piece on, so it's going to add the length of this piece, okay? So let's go ahead and keep braiding. You can see this last part with me. I'm going to get it down to where I have about an inch, inch and a half. I'd say 2 inches, except it seemed to be a little long when I did that the first time on my test. You just need enough to go around the hardware piece later. Okay. Now, these aren't necessarily going to be all even, so just before you start getting to the end, you can kind of tug on them to make sure. There we go. All right, so this is about an inch here. Maybe this is about an inch and a half, but they're all kind of the same. So I'm just going to bring the outermost ones to the inside and just put them on top of these loops here. Put that here on top, this one at the back. And now they look relatively the same size. And just put my finger through it and grab my hardware. Okay, and I'm going to make sure this is not turned around here. I've got, sorry, let me show you what I'm doing. I've got this piece that I had flipped it, and I have this big bulky part here on the what I'm calling the front. And so make sure this is not twisted. So I'm looking at the front here, flatten it down. Oh, and see, I do have it twisted. So I'm going to flip this over, and now I'm going to put the hardware on just how I did the other one. All right, so now we've got it. We're doing this upside down now. And then we're going to take that and put it right on top of our hardware loop here and push it through. Make sure you know where that hole is. You got all the pieces together. 1, 2. Okay, got all my loops. And now I'm going to bring it up and over the head of this hardware piece and around the little shoulders of that hardware part. And then we're just going to tighten it. And here we go. Looks like a little tie. And so now this has a similar look to the other side. I just kind of mess with it until it looks the way I want. See, look at that. And now these sides look very much the same or similar to each other, and then you can just clip this onto your bag. And now I actually have 2. So here's the 2. Here's the one I made at first. And like, let's say your first one, like this one, I may go back and braid this one because it's a little loose in the beginning, and this was the end of it. And so it's cool because you can take it apart. So I'm just going to show you this real quick. So let's say you make the first one and you don't like it, test the second one, and then now that you practice, I'm going to show you how to undo it. Okay, so just take that end and lift up and over, and then you can pull it out. And then now you can just turn it around and continue braiding it and fix it. And that's it. You just do the whole technique again. So I hope you've enjoyed making your straps here with me. So stay tuned, and we'll be making a bag together very soon with all of our pot holders. Thanks for joining us today, where we help you stitch your love and love your stitches. See you again soon.